Well, welcome back, everybody. Boy, it's sure great to go ahead and be back with you guys here. As you know, we had a wildly insane Wealth 365 Summit here 2 weeks ago, and we had more people come on here in the last 2 weeks with wealth charts than we have ever in the same type of period of time. It's just been insane. So, been really busy last week trying to go ahead and help our student or our support family go in and help our student family, and we also had some other craziness. For those of you that may recall, one of my team members cut himself pretty deeply and had to go by ambulance to the hospital and then be in the hospital for some nights and is going to have recovery from a severe laceration. And then my daughter ended up being sick with strep throat and everything. So just all sorts of craziness going on, but we want to take care of our existing student family first here, and now going ahead and getting back to catching us all up. So here's where we're at, and here's what you need to know about this market right now. So we went ahead and we did get down one solid bar close below this area that I told you about before. But instead of having a second solid bar close, we actually came down to a massive long-term support. In fact, if you've been following me, you know that this has been on here now for, a minimum of 7 to 8 months, possibly longer. I'd have to go back and look at the old videos to see when we put it on. But we put this video on earlier in 2021, and these double pink lines here, as magenta lines. And so we came right down to that area, and then we had a huge bounce off that area. Institutional money came in. This made what's called an inventory retracement bar, an IRB. So what is that? Where one or more institutions that now stopped the market from going down, but actually drove it back up. And remember, the whole concept of those for my IRB trade strategy is we want to then see where that one or more institutions not only stops the market but drives it back up, but then the market falls through that level. Well, in order to get through that level, that would have to then get through that accumulation bar and this massive, massive support going back into early in 2021. So this is a huge area. So what it did was, not only did it not close solidly down, which 2-bar close below, I would have been saying, hey, this is probably just going to have a real quick dead cat bounce and die. But it went ahead and actually did it with a big fat accumulation bar. So right now, this is a massive area of support from right here around the 432 level on the SPY down here to about the 420 level on the SPY. Absolutely incredible. Now, to put this in perspective for you, okay, let's just go ahead and put this in perspective. If you go ahead, and in fact, let me zoom out a bunch of data here because it really helps you see this. So look at how far back you'd have to go to play around with those areas that were so important back in May, June of last year. We came close down by those areas here in October of last year, and then we went ahead now and actually hit those levels again. But if we go down below that, you got a lot, and I mean a lot of air down below here. That being said, right now, a lot of people are betting that this market's going to go ahead and hold this area. What I would say to you is it's pretty straightforward from my perspective. So with that, let me go ahead and zoom this back in. So what we're looking at is this. If we hold this area of accumulation, great. That's wonderful. Okay, this is super. We need to hold above this level. You can see how well, once we made that level, how we dipped down into it there, dipped into it here, dipped into it here, then dipped down here last week into that, and then immediately started powering back up, right? Making people think, oh, it's going to go down, and then faked them back up. All right, so here's where we're at. We are now at the bottom end of this all-important channel. The same channel that was so important into last year, as you recall, that I wanted to stay above, we are now hitting that as like a resistance area, okay? So we have falling resistance right on top of us, and yet we have support, major, major, major support right below us, okay? So this is a big fat kill zone that we want to see us break through. Now, let's think about what we have here on tap. We have inflation, we have interest rate, overtures about raising interest rate as soon as March. We have Russia at Ukraine's border. We have the Chinese at Taiwan's border. We have nuclear enrichment programs in Iran. There's a lot of geopolitical things things that are out there that could disrupt these markets, right? And so what we don't want to do is we don't want to wind up on the south side of this all important area that I just gave you a few minutes ago, and then have those geopolitical things hit home, right? Sure, certain defense stocks and things like that are going to go ahead and perform very well. In fact, there's been some really nice long side opportunities in the midst of all this craziness, but there's also been a number of short side opportunities as well. So looking at that, if you're bullish, then two things have to happen. Number one, again, we need to stay above 432 at the minimum, or at the top end, and 420 at the bare minimum. It's got to stay below there. If it dips back down in here, that's going to be uncomfortable to say the least. If it goes down below this area, 420, we're going to be having a serious talk, and my scanners are going to be all flipping from bullish to bearish, let's say. Already I have several scans looking for bearish opportunities. It was showing those during the Wealth 365 summit, for instance. So right now, on the bullish side, if you're bullish, you're going to want to look for the strongest relative strength position stocks. So you can go ahead and flip over the wealth scanner here. I got the S&P 500 turned over to bullish, and then you can just take a look at some of the ones that are performing the best, even when the market was behaving poorly. So that's great things to look at. Things like Halliburton and ExxonMobil, all those types of things. Vertex has been on here forever. VRTX. It's what I've talked to you guys about previously. It's been on there and on there and on there, and then just had this big run here recently. So, and you got earnings announcement and all that good stuff. So the thing is that what I would say is there are some great individual long side opportunities if you're feeling that we're going to hold that double magenta line that I showed you at 420 on the SPY. Remember the top end of that is 432. If we break through that area, from my perspective, all I'm going to be able to do at that point, well, unless I'm looking at inverse ETFs, okay, and I showed you guys how to do that during the week of the Wealth 365 Summit too, actually, was looking at the inverse ETFs inside a Wealth Finder there, and like the SQQQ and things like that, looking for opportunities like that from my perspective. That's what my focus will certainly be in for people that are focusing on long side only trades in a down market. Those are potential options. Consult your registered financial representative. So I just want to kind of basically say there are some great opportunities depending on your beliefs here, long or short. Wealth Scanner is going to be one of the tools that I'm going to go ahead and be using in that process to help identify those. And then more importantly, I'm going to be focusing right now on all this massive falling resistance that's right above us here. Let me just go ahead and bring this over here for you so you can kind of see that a little bit tighter. You can see all that resistance kind of coming into this area here between the 448 and the 451 area on the SPY. Now, to be clear, I'm really not going to be terribly excited about this until these speed lines get back above the channel here. Before I start worrying about some sort of massive, major, bull side theme where I'm going quote unquote all in on the bull side with the market. But I think there's some definite selective plays here. Even if we do have conflict, some of the ones I mentioned earlier, and some of these better ways from my perspective to find those quickly. Okay, so I just want to kind of give you this initial update, and I'll try to get some more updates. Got a big annual member event for all the Wealth Charts members that are annual members Thursday and Friday this week, and different things to prepare for. And still trying to help the team get a little bit caught up. We of course added more customer service team members, but they take time to get up to speed to know all the wonderful things about how to help you guys. So we're kind of jumping in there everywhere we can as well. Take good care of you guys. So welcome to our student family. Don't forget what I'm saying about these key areas that we've just talked to you about tonight, and we'll be showing you more about these areas as this progresses here. Okay, so don't forget to send in some of your favorite questions, and we'll go ahead and try to answer some of those different things in the videos here. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.